everybody. Having a good summer? Yeah, hey, welcome. I recently realised I'm in the summer of my life. Yeah, that's right. I'm over 40 degrees Celsius. Some of the women in the room are like, is she talking about the menopause or global warming? Honestly, I'm not sure. All I know is that both leave me sweaty and in denial. Oh, thanks. One of my favourite jokes is when people ask me what's it like to live in Luxembourg, and I say to them, well, it's a bit like being at the English seaside. You know, it's cold, it's wet, it's a really long walk to the sea. It's great. The trouble is I can't do that joke anymore because it's freaking hot, isn't it? All the time. You know, it's just crazy, crazy hot. It's so bad. I mean, Europe's on fire. Governments are telling people not to overexert themselves, right? Which is, weirdly, that's the same advice given to employees in the Luxembourg government. Don't overexert yourself, JP. Oh shit, what else was I going to do? It's a bit hot in here. Where do we get to? Yeah, don't overexert yourselves. But seriously, heat exhaustion is a thing, and it's a killer. Heat exhaustion is a killer. I was reading today, if you know someone suffering from heat exhaustion, you should move them to a cool place, right? So maybe Berlin, Amsterdam, definitely not Thionville. No, don't move them there. No. Luxembourg is pretty hot, and you're probably already aware Luxembourg is a major contributor to climate change, and I feel it's about time we got some return on investment. You were right not to laugh at that joke. Clearly you are educated people doing right by the environment. It makes noise if you read books. Fuck for that. We're saved. Yeah. I recently read a book about the environment, and it was very hard to swallow. That's right. I learned that the human beings are screwed. The planet is fucked. And I should stop eating books. Terrible indigestion, honestly. What was I thinking? The book explained that in future, thanks to man-made climate change, parts of the planet are going to become unlivable. Terrifying, right? Can you imagine? It's going to be more places like Thionville. Nobody wants that to happen. Nobody wants that. Even Thionville doesn't want that to happen. But it got me thinking, Jess, are your actions having an impact, or are you just, greenwashing? You guys know what greenwashing is? You heard of greenwashing, some of you? For those, he's shaking his head. Okay, greenwashing is when you do something that you say is sustainable, but deep down, you know it's not. Okay, it's a bit like dating someone out of your league. Why are you looking at her? This is something none of us knows, including her. Let me give you an example. Awkward, right? Let me give you an example of greenwashing. So carbon offsetting, don't worry, I'm going to make it fun. Carbon offsetting, right, is when you take a plane to, I don't know, Berlin, because it's cool, and but to make yourself feel better, to get rid of that, like, plane anxiety, whatever you call it, climate anxiety, what you do is you plant a tree. What? I mean, that's crazy, right? That's like being in a toxic relationship and having the person who's gaslighting you pay for your therapy bills. It's not solving the problem. Thank you. But therapy is expensive, so we all go on with it. So I actually I'm very good at recycling. I do my best to recycle as much as I can. I even recycle the containers, the packaging that my medicine comes in. I know. You know those little glass things medicine comes in? Sometimes I put wine in it. I recycle my wine bottles, all right. Yeah. And I'm very principled as well. I will not consume anything that has been made by child labour. And I will not do that. I will not do that ever since I witnessed my 6-year-old nephew decorating cupcakes, one finger up his nose. That was not matcha frosting. No. Now, a lot of people like to blame the boomer generation. You know who boomers are, don't you? Oh yeah. A lot of people like to blame the boomers for the shit that we're in, but I just like to tell you, my mum, she's a boomer. My mum's good, she doesn't throw anything away, and that is the problem. She doesn't throw anything away. I'm beginning to wonder if actually her home is the landfill site.